Talk 1000. You already know what it is, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Cut the music. Cut the music. Let's jump straight into it. First of all, I want to just personally take time out to thank the boxing gods for making this fight possible. Thank you, boxing gods. Now, with that being said, let's jump into why this is such a great fight. And you know what? I'm trying to figure out how Top Rank is managing Terence Crawford's career, man. I personally don't think that Bob Arum, the owner of Top Rank, I don't think he wants Terence Crawford to be successful. I mean, he seems to be making all of the wrong business decisions for Terence Crawford in order to keep Crawford less popular and keep Vasyl Lomachenko more popular. I don't know. It's just my opinion. But this is a bad matchup. I'm actually surprised that Terence Crawford is taking a fight like this. Kell Brook is a very dangerous fighter. He went up to 160 and held his own against Gennady Golovkin at the height of Gennady Golovkin's boogeyman era, and he held it down. Please, bro, let's make no mistake about it. Kell Brook was beating the shit out of Gennady Golovkin. The only thing that saved Gennady Golovkin was the fact that Kell Brook's eye socket got broken. Kell Brook quit in that fight. Comes back, was it a year, maybe two later? I believe it was a year later after his eye injury, after losing to Gennady Golovkin. Comes back, fights Errol Spence Jr., who we all know is a dangerous fight for anybody. Young, hungry Errol Spence in his hometown of Sheffield, England, and put up a hell of a performance. That would probably be Spence's toughest fight to date. No, I take that back. Sean Porter was Spence's toughest fight to date. But Kell Brook put up a hell of a performance. Came up short. But with that being said, Sean Porter was Errol Spence's toughest fight. Yet Kell Brook beat Sean Porter with relative ease. Kell Brook is nobody's pushover. I seen Kell Brook in the UK back in, I want to say 08, 09. No, it might have been 2010 because I was just getting out. Anyway, I was overseas and I met him in the UK. And I couldn't even believe that was him. I was like, this is the boxer. And at that point, he wasn't really nobody, but he was up and coming, and he was a well-known dude, but he was fat. Like, he's like a short, fat dude, really. But as you can see, he never misses weight. He's always in shape for the fights when it's time to fight. And he's a phenomenal looking athlete. And he can go. I mean, the dude will bang with you on the inside. He can box you on the outside. And he has decent punching power. I would say he has around 8. On a scale of 1 to 10, his punching power seems to be about an 8. You can tell from the KO ratio. But Crawford also has a good KO ratio percentage. Actually better than Kell Brook's. But they both have 27 knockouts, as you can see on the screen. But the point being is this. Terence Crawford is coming up from 140 pounds, undisputed. A lot of people, he is on a lot of people's pound for pound list, as he should be. He's on my pound for pound top 5 list. But when he came to welterweight, we expected Terence Crawford to just come straight to welterweight and get it in. We expected him to go straight for the gusto, get Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Errol Spence up out of there, you know. And when I say get them up out of there, I don't mean, you know, just like breeze through these folks. I'm just saying, like, you know, get those fights made. But as we see, it didn't turn out that way. He's fighting the Kowalskis of the world. He's fighting the damn Jeff Horns of the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to really gauge. He's been at welterweight for like 3 years now, and he hasn't fought any elite competition at welterweight as of yet. So here comes now Kell Brook. Now here's my question on what the hell Top Rank is doing with his career. This is what's confusing me, is because this guy can possibly beat Terence Crawford. I think he has a better chance than anybody, except for maybe Errol Spence, of beating Terence Crawford. But this guy is a high risk, low reward. There was no build-up for this fight. There was no build-up for this fight. It just happened kind of out of nowhere. Like, oh, we're looking for an opponent. You know what I'm saying? Who's next? And then Kell Brook pops out of nowhere. This is crazy. This is crazy. Because I'm telling you, Kell Brook is too big for Terence Crawford right now. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. If Terence Crawford can beat Kell Brook convincingly, I'm talking about without no controversy, without no eye injury, without some stupid ass excuse, if he can just straight up beat a 100% Kell Brook and do it convincingly, even if he damages his eye, that's not your fault. You know, if you damage his eye, you get credit for that win. But if he beats him and does it convincingly, I give up, bro. Terence Crawford is the #1 pound for pound fighter on the planet, hands down. If he can solidly beat Kell Brook, he has nothing else to prove in the sport of boxing. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Kell Brook is just way too big. Kell Brook punches way too hard. We seen Gamboa drop by smaller opponents. We seen Terence Crawford drop by smaller opponents like Gamboa. And like, was it Kowalskis rocked him or dropped him? He got dropped in his last fight. You know, I don't know, man. I don't think he can handle it. And the problem is, when Terence Crawford gets hit, he doesn't box anymore. He still kind of moves and tries to frustrate you, but it goes out the window, and he likes to get into kind of like dog fights. And as you can see, what Kell Brook did to Sean Porter, Kell Brook don't mind a dog fight. Kell Brook don't mind you coming in all crazy and reckless because you mad. Kell Brook will hold you because he's strong enough to hold you in place. You know what I'm saying? He's strong enough to hold you and control you with the upper body, and then land a nice little 1-2 and come forward on you. So I don't know what game plan he has in stock. I mean, Terence Crawford got to pull some magic out of his ass in order to convincingly beat somebody like Kell Brook, man. I mean, he had a hard enough times with the Danny Garcias. I think he could beat Danny Garcia fairly easily. I think he can beat Keith Thurman fairly easily. Terence Crawford. I think it'll be a good matchup between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. But I do think Errol Spence wins that. I've been picking Errol Spence if that fight does happen. I got Errol Spence winning that too. But Kell Brook, that's high risk, low reward. That is a high risk, low reward fight. So now, if you lose to Kell Brook, who already got beat by Errol Spence, now what's the purpose? So, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Terence Crawford's career has been moved very shadily. Very shady, man. I don't know what they're trying to do. He needs to up and leave, bro. He needs to leave Top Rank, bro, if he wants to still box, man. I don't know what's going on with Terence Crawford. You know, he's not really appealing. Like, you know, he got a very dry personality. He has the personality of a freaking potato. You know, not even a cooked potato. He got the personality of a potato straight out the supermarket. So, with no seasoning on it, no chives, no onions. You know? So I don't know, man. He can't sell. So what is he gonna do, man? He needs to be very convincing in this fight, man. But if he can do it with just pure boxing, hey, man, 100% credit to him. 100% credit to him, and he will be on my pound-for-pound #1 list. Or pound-for-pound #1 on my pound-for-pound list. But if he loses, you know, you wasted all of that time at welterweight for nothing. Instead of getting right in there. This is what I hate when these fighters talk about letting it build, letting it marinate. So too much shit can happen while you letting it build and letting it marinate, man. Time don't wait for nobody. I don't want to see big fights once fighters start slipping. And then you make it that easier for me to pick. He's younger than Errol Spence. So if he starts slowing down or he gets beat up real bad in this Crawford fight, even if he wins, if he takes too much punishment, we're going to say, oh, look, see, he older now. Because what is going to happen? A year or two after this? Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, man. Bro Talk 1000. I'm out here. Peace.